Hello, guys, and welcome back to the prediction show. It's been a while,
It has.
and it's been crazy. So
Very, very eventful.
there's been plenty of football, plenty of weird results, plenty of interesting things that have happened in the Premier League or just football in general. To be honest with you, so I'm Elmo,
I'm Tuna.
and just before we go into the predictions on how we predicted them, please go and subscribe. Please drop a like on this and please comment. Uh, all our links are down below as well. I've got a link tree with all my other socials and other YouTubes as well, and all the Tuna stuff's down there as well.
I'm not
Um,
that organised.
there's also a sneak code as well. Please check that out. Okay, so the last predictions what we did, it kind of there was 6 games midweek, and then there was meant to be a Friday game which was on game week 19, but that got cancelled. But then the next game week pretty much ran from Saturday through to Thursday, so we just did that in one show. So we're going to go over game week 18, which only had 6 games, and then we're going to go over game week 19, which had more than 6 games. I can't be bothered to count.
A lot.
Yeah. So we'll start off then with Sheffield United versus Newcastle in game week 18, where Sheffield United won 1-0, but I went the opposite way and I went 2-0 to Newcastle.
Yeah, I had 3-1 to Newcastle. I don't think anyone saw this coming.
No, Sheffield United got their first win of the season after 18 games,
Yep.
so that was very big for them.
We then had Burnley play Manchester United and finished 1-0 to Manchester United. Perhaps a bit tighter than people expected. I had Man United winning 2-1, so I got a point in this one.
I had 3-1. I expected a few more goals from us, but I still got a point. Then Wolves vs Everton. Everton won 2-1. I went 2-1, but the opposite way to Wolves, so I got nothing there.
Yeah, and again, Everton do the exact opposite of what I predict them to do. I also had 2-1 to Wolves in this game, so nothing there. Man City then played Brighton, which finished 1-0 to Manchester City, and I expected a big win in this one. I had 4-0, but a point nevertheless.
I predicted big win as well, but I only went 3-0. But again, it's 1 point. So it's nice to be level with you as well. 2 points each so far.
Yeah,
Then we had Tottenham versus Fulham, and that was 1-1, which was a surprise to me, to be honest with you. I went 2-1 to Tottenham. Tottenham's form and Fulham's form, I expected Tottenham to win.
you know who it wasn't a surprise to? Me, because I went 1-1 and got a perfect score. This, of course, was a game that was added late on because of ones that moved. So we both went with our predictions that we had earlier in the season, didn't we? I don't think either one of us changed.
No, so this one should have been Aston Villa versus Tottenham, and it got cancelled due to Aston Villa and COVID reasons. And it got changed last minute to a Tottenham versus Fulham. And what we did is we kept the Aston Villa versus Tottenham predictions the same. So initially you would have predicted 1-1 for Aston Villa versus Tottenham, but we both agreed that we were going to keep the same ones.
I think I did also have Tottenham and Fulham 1-1 when their games postponed earlier this season as
Okay.
well.
I can't remember what I did
So
for it.
I just went 1-1 with everything, just, you know.
It worked.
It did. What it didn't work on was Arsenal versus Crystal Palace, which finished 0-0. I had Arsenal winning 2-1 in this one, so no points for me there.
And I had 2-2, so I expected some goals, but I didn't expect either side to come out winners. So I got 1 point, which got me on 3 for the week.
Yeah, so 5-3. I think we can be excused from a relatively low scoring week this one just because of the lack of games.
Yeah, I mean, if that was one where all 20 teams had played, then that's a poor score, but yeah, that's not too bad. Then we go into game week 19, and we start off with Fulham versus Chelsea. Chelsea winning 1-0, and I had 2-0, so I was one goal off, but I got a point.
Yeah, I expected Chelsea to batter Fulham this one. I had 5-0, but I get a point anyway. Wolves then played West Brom, which West Brom won 3-2. Cracker of a game. I had Wolves winning 3-0 in this one, so nothing for me there.
I expected it to be close, but I expected Wolves to come out the victors, and I predicted 2-1, so I got nothing there. Leeds versus Brighton. This finished Brighton 1-0. The amount of times that I predicted Brighton to win, and they've let me down. I actually went 3-1, expecting Leeds to just absolutely batter them, and it didn't work out.
I had a Leeds win as well. I went 3-0, sort of similar reasons, and they both shocked us. And I think quite often now when we predicted Leeds to score a lot of goals, they haven't. So another trend for us there. West Ham then played Burnley, which West Ham won 1-0. I went for a 1-1 draw in this one, so a third game in a row with no points for me.
I went 1-1, so again I got no points as well, and third game in a row that I didn't. The next game was Aston Villa versus Everton, which ended up being postponed again due to COVID reasons for Aston Villa. So Aston Villa's definitely got some catching up to do in terms of games that they need to be playing.
We then actually had football in Leicester versus Southampton, which finished 2-0 to Leicester. I got the margin right, but I had 3-1 to Leicester, so a point there for me.
Yeah, and I had 2-1, so I just needed that Southampton goal. But I got a point nevertheless. Sheffield United versus Tottenham. This finished 3-1 to Tottenham. I had 3-0, again just missing out on one goal from the losing side, but I still got a point.
Yeah, I went 2-1 to Sheffield United. I expected them to get the first win in this run of games. I just obviously got the wrong game, so I got no points there. Liverpool then played Manchester United in the big game of the weekend. And what happens in big games? It finishes 0-0. I should have known that, but I went 4-2 to Liverpool, so again, no points for me there.
Yeah, I actually went 2-2. I did expect it being a draw, but I expected some goals. I don't know why. It was a very disappointing game. Me and yourself watched it in a voice call together, and you know,
Fell asleep.
as a big rivals, that was just a very poor game. We did have Man City versus Crystal Palace, and Man City beat them 4-0. I had a 2-1 win for Man City, so I got a point there, and my fourth consecutive point.
Yep, I went 3-1 to Man City, so I managed to get a point there. And stop the run of incorrect results, really. Arsenal then played Newcastle, which Arsenal won 3-0. I had Newcastle winning 2-1 in this one, so no points again.
Yeah, I had 1-1. Arsenal's form, I didn't really see them getting much out of this one. Newcastle's hit and miss, so I got nothing there. West Ham versus West Brom. West Ham won 2-1, and again I went the opposite way. I went 2-1 to West Brom, and I got nothing.
This time it was my turn to be one goal out. I had 3-1 to West Ham, but a point there anyway, which puts me a point behind you so far this week. We then had Leicester versus Chelsea, which finished 2-0 to Leicester. I got Leicester's score right. I just kind of expected Chelsea to score as well. I had 2-2, so no points for me there.
I didn't expect Chelsea to score, and I expected Leicester to come out decent winners here, but I had 3-0, so I just needed that one more goal. I got another point. Another game that got cancelled, but this time not really for COVID reasons, but due to Southampton needing to play their FA Cup game. So the Leeds vs Southampton game was called off, so we'll predict that when they get to replay theirs.
Fulham then hosted Manchester United, which Manchester United won 2-1. I had a 4-0 win for Man United here, so I get a point, but quite a distance off, to be fair.
Yeah, I had 3-0 as well, so I expected us scoring a couple of goals and not really conceding, but I got my point. Man City versus Aston Villa. City won 2-0. I went 2-1 to Aston Villa. I don't know what I was thinking there.
Now, I had City winning 2-1, so a goal off, but a point anyway there. Liverpool then played Burnley, and Burnley won 1-0. And I got this as a perfect score. I don't even remember why I predicted this way. In the first place, I just had a feeling, and clearly that paid off.
And them 3 points was massive for you. Especially with me predicting 2-0 to Liverpool, so I got nothing there. But the last game, which was again a last minute rearranged game for Aston Villa Newcastle, which got postponed earlier on in the season, we messaged each other and we did our predictions way before the game, so there was no anyone trying to cheat. I went 2-1 to Aston Villa and it was 2-0, so I just needed that one more point, and that leaves me with 8 points for the game week.
Yeah, and I need a goal each for mine. I went 3-1 to Aston Villa, but I get a point as well there. And it's certainly heating up overall. It gives you a lead 98-97.
Yeah, I'm not liking
So
it.
it's getting very, very close again. I've hit form at sort of a great time at the moment when games are coming thick and fast. And I don't really know what I've done differently. Obviously, I sort of did some on the fly, and that affected me negatively. But I haven't really been researching recent ones, so I guess I
I,
just got to go with my hunches and stop changing predictions.
I think the key thing for you over the past 3 game weeks is not so much of predicting the correct team to win, but your luck on predicting the correct score, because you've had 4 correct scores in the past 3 game weeks, and obviously that'll give you a massive bonus. So that's definitely helped you out. It's been a very long time since I've predicted a correct score, so I need to start getting some of them again so that I can try and get that distance again. But if we have a look at the league table now, so it's changed a lot. So Manchester United are now at top of the league by 2 points above Man City, but Man City do have 1 game in hand. Level on points with Man City, we have Leicester City in third. We've got Liverpool in fourth with 34 points. And then we've got Tottenham in fifth, but they've also got a game in hand. They've only played 18 games. Below them in sixth is Everton, but they've got 2 games in hand. So once they played their games in hand, that could change a hell of a lot. West Ham in seventh. Aston Villa in eighth, and again they've got 3 games in hand, so they win all their 3 games. That will put them in the top 4, which again it's huge. It just shows how tight it is up at the top and how much these cancelled games are going to affect the league. In ninth place with a massive drop is Chelsea. Southampton in 10th, they've got a game in hand. Arsenal in 11th, so they're kind of they're still down in the bottom half. They're trying to get out there, but they're just struggling. They have picked up some wins in the last 5 games, so that has helped.
Yeah, I mean, the last 5 games they're joint second in terms of form. So
Yeah. It just... Is it too late, though? Is it too late for them to get in a European place? That's the thing. In 12th place, we've got Leeds United. We've got Crystal Palace in 13th, Wolves in 14th, Burnley in 15th, Newcastle in 16th, Brighton in 17th, and then the bottom 3 is Fulham, West Brom, and still bottom, but with 1 win and 2 draws, with 5 points, is Sheffield United. So on their current form, if they get 2 wins per 19 games, then yeah, they're going down.
I mean, they're 12 points away from safety now, so even if you double their current points total, they're still falling a long way short.
Yeah.
So they need to step it up. Fulham starting to fall a bit adrift, 5 points behind Brighton, but they do have a game in hand as well, so Fulham need to win and start to close that gap a little bit.
Yeah, so this is the half time. We are literally halfway through the season, but there's still plenty of teams that still need to be playing some games that they've got in hand that was cancelled previously. And the games are coming thick and fast as well, especially towards the middle end of February when Champions League and Europa League start back up again. And the FA Cup, we've just had the FA Cup fourth round played this weekend. There's two more games to be played this. No, there's one being played now. Two more games this week, and then in 2 weeks' time, midweek is the fifth round. So any team that's in the fifth round of the FA Cup, as well as still in Europe, the games are coming thick and fast. Where you're playing 2 games a week. And if you've got some games to catch up on with the likes of Man City, I know it's only one game, but it still makes a big difference.
Yeah. Not too long after that, you've got internationals coming back as well. So players are going to have to work very, very hard. And maybe that will reflect in some of our predictions.
Possibly. I mean, if you have a look at some of the injuries that have been announced this weekend, so De Bruyne is out for anything from 6 to 8 weeks, I think they said, 5 to 8 weeks. You've got Jamie Vardy out for a couple of weeks as well, so they're 2 huge players, 2 key players for their own clubs. So that could have a big difference on the results and maybe our predictions. But anybody else could fall foul of an injury, and we could also have some more games get cancelled because of COVID, which again would make a big difference in terms of the squad strength and the results and
Yep.
who
And
knows.
it's just a bizarre season anyway before any of that. I mean, all of the teams that have been top then had a dip, and you see people like Everton and Aston Villa are now making a resurgence again. So it's literally, yeah, we just pick numbers. I think I don't think we have much logic behind our predictions. So I've gone with logic for all of mine.
So
Yeah.
let's go to game week 20 then, and game week 20 is played Tuesday the 26th of January through to Thursday the 28th of January, and all these games are on BT Sport. So we start off with Crystal Palace vs West Ham at 6 o'clock on Tuesday, and I've gone for a 2-1 win to Crystal Palace.
Okay, I also have a 2-1 win, but I've gone to West Ham.
Okay.
So we're split on that one.
I think that's a tough game to call, to be honest with their form and what have you. Also at 6 o'clock, we have Newcastle versus Leeds United.
Yeah, obviously a lot of goals when these teams last met, but I'm going 2-0 to Leeds in this one.
So I've gone 2-2 because again I can't call it, and I think a lot of these games I'm just not sure who to pick.
I'm sort of going off Newcastle's struggles. They've been very, very poor in recent weeks, so
Yeah, maybe. 8:15, we have Southampton versus Arsenal, and I've gone 2-1 to Southampton.
yeah, obviously these two teams met at the weekend in the FA Cup, Southampton winning 1-0, but I also have 2-1 to Southampton.
Okay, I don't like that, but sure. Also at 8:15 on Tuesday is West Brom versus Man City.
Yeah, and I keep doing it, and I got Man City winning 4-0 in this game.
So it's weird because when you pick a team scoring 4 goals, I always go 3. And we don't know each other's predictions until we actually say it on this video. So I have actually gone 3-0 to Man City in this one.
Impressive.
Yeah. Wednesday at 6 o'clock, we have Burnley versus Aston Villa. I've gone 1-0 to Villa.
I have 2-1 to Villa.
I think this is another tough one to call.
Yeah, obviously Burnley and Aston Villa both getting pretty good results in their last outing. I don't really know. I just feel Aston Villa are the stronger team.
Yeah, it's a tough one to call. And again, this is probably where we're losing points because there's just tough games and teams are just hit and miss too much. Also at 6 o'clock we have Chelsea versus Wolves. Chelsea not in great form at the moment.
No, and I'm back in the same result as I did earlier on in the season. I got Wolves winning 2-1.
So I've gone the opposite. I've gone 2-1 to Chelsea. Just because even though Chelsea's form's dipped a lot, I think the performance this weekend in the FA Cup and the performance recently from Wolves, I just think Chelsea's going to get that. 7:30, which is a weird time. It's like the in between the other lots of teams.
Yeah.
7:30, Brighton versus Fulham.
Massive game down the bottom, this one.
Yeah.
And I am not splitting the teams. I've gone for a 1-1 draw.
1-1 draw. I've gone 2-1 to Brighton because, again, there's some really tough games this game week. But I just think Brighton will get the edge, and every time I predict Brighton to win, they let me down. So 8:15, we have Everton versus Leicester, and I've gone for a 2-0 Leicester win.
I've also got Leicester winning, but I've gone 2-1 to Leicester.
Again, a tough one. That could be a decent game. Everton's form's dropped a lot again, but that's for the second time this season, so they could bounce back. And then the last game on Wednesday at 8:15 is Man United versus Sheffield United. Now, these only met a couple of weeks ago. It only seemed like a few, was it in between Christmas and New Year? And that was a tight one, but I've gone for a 4-1 win to Man United.
Okay, I've gone 3-0 Man United.
Sheffield
United.
They scored 2 in the last outing. One of them was kind of a mistake from Henderson, but I don't know. I think they're picking up some momentum at the moment. So momentum, not memento. So I just expect them getting at least 1 goal. And then the final game of the game week, my big game, 8 o'clock on Thursday, is Tottenham versus Liverpool.
Yeah, these games in recent history have either been a draw or 2-1. So I'm going 2-1 to Liverpool.
So I've gone 2-0 to Tottenham. And that's just looking at your form more than anything else. But there's going to be a point where you bounce back, and you probably bounce back big. So this could be the game.
I mean, we're unbeaten in the league against your big 6 teams this season, so which means it's going to be 0-0. You've called it a big game. It's going to be 0-0. We all know it.
I called it a big game because I'd love for it to be 0-0, to be honest with you. And then the weekend after, so Saturday the 30th of January and Sunday the 31st of January, we don't have any Friday or Monday night games this time because of the midweek games. We start off 12:30 on BT Sport, Everton versus Newcastle, and again I couldn't pick between the two sides, so I've gone 1-1.
I've gone 2-1 to Everton in this one, which means it's probably going to be 2-1 to Newcastle.
Possibly. 3 o'clock kickoff on Sky Sports. Wait, a 3 o'clock kickoff on Saturday?
Yep.
Okay. Crystal Palace versus Wolves.
Yeah, I struggled with this one, so I just went down the middle. I've gone for a 1-1 draw.
That's fair. I've gone for a 1-0 win to Wolves. It's time they started bouncing back. Another 3 o'clock kickoff is on Sky Sports again, is Man City versus Sheffield United. So Sheffield United have got to travel to Manchester twice in space of a few days. I've gone for a 2-1 win to Man City, so not as big as what I probably should have predicted.
No, I'm sorry, Sheffield United fans. I've done to you what I did to Fulham last time. I've got you losing 4-0. 7 goals in 2 games you're shipping.
I did expect you to have a high scoring game in that one.
I
And
mean, it's more because whenever I back Man City to win big, they never do. So I think it's just I'm trying to curse them more than anything.
another 3 o'clock kickoff, but this time on BT. No, not BT Sport. BBC Sport. And it's not an exciting one, to be honest with you. But they'll probably prove me wrong. West Brom versus Fulham.
Yeah, another huge clash down at the bottom of the table.
Mm.
Um, and again, I'm not splitting these teams. I've gone for another 1-1 draw.
So I've kind of gone down the same lines as you, but I expect it being boring 0-0 draw. So that's a win for one of them. And I'm not going to say the words.
Big game
Half
of this
five.
weekend.
I said I'm not saying them words.
No, but
Half
I'm saying the
five
words.
on Sky Sports is Arsenal versus Man United. This last time that we played Arsenal in the league, both teams was awful, and it was a 1-0 win to Arsenal. This time I've got us winning 2-0. It's time for revenge. We're on a decent run, and I'm hoping that we can kick back.
I'm going for the exact same as the first game, with the away team winning 1-0, so Manchester United winning 1-0.
Fingers crossed. I know far too many people at work that are Arsenal fans. At 8 o'clock on Sky Sports is Southampton versus Aston Villa.
Yeah, one of them, again, pretty big clash for European places. I'm going 2-1 to Southampton in this game.
So I've gone with Southampton as well, but I've gone 2-0. Sunday, the 31st of January on BT Sport is Chelsea versus Burnley. I've gone for a 2-1 win to Burnley.
Interesting. I've sort of followed your logic from the last round and expecting Chelsea to find their form in this one. I've gone 3-1 to Chelsea.
I mean, Chelsea's form's hit and miss, so that's why I've gone for 2-1. But, Burnley, against the top clubs, they're giving them decent games. I don't know where we're going with that, but they're giving them decent games. So that's maybe is why I've gone for that. I think Burnley's struggling with the lower clubs, but when it comes to playing against a bigger club, then they just put them more of a fight. 2 o'clock on Sky Sports, we have Leicester versus Leeds.
It'll be a tasty game, this one. I've gone for 2-1 to Leicester.
I've gone 3-1 to Leicester. So I expect... I've predicted Leicester to win pretty much every week, I think, this season.
Yeah.
But I think they are very much up there in terms of title contenders this season.
It'll be interesting to see how they cope without Jamie Vardy.
Yeah, I mean they've got Maddison, who's scored 4 in 4 games at the moment, so he's really doing well for him.
And Harvey Barnes, who we've raved about all season as well.
Yeah,
doing pretty well for them, so
Tillemans,
should be a good game.
They've got the players. 4:30 on Sky Sports is West Ham versus Liverpool.
Yeah, again, using off the top of my head knowledge of previous games, I'm expected to go a similar way, so I've gone 3-1 to Liverpool. I seem to think, obviously I haven't researched this, but Liverpool score 3 quite often away against West Ham. I'm probably completely wrong, but that's just what I have in my head, so that's what I'm going with.
So I've gone 4-1 to Liverpool. So I said, I predicted Tottenham to beat Liverpool, and I said that Liverpool's going to bounce back at some point and punch somebody, and this is where I think they will do. So I think it's going to be 4-1 to Liverpool. And then the final game of the weekend at 7:15 on Sunday is Brighton versus Tottenham. And I've gone 2-0 to Tottenham.
I've gone 2-1 to Tottenham. I seem to have a habit, I think, of Brighton scoring in my predictions, so I thought I'd just keep that going.
Yeah. So 2 big game weeks for all clubs. You know, it's very close in the top 10. Pretty much, it's very tight, and obviously the bottom 3, they're kind of fighting on their own at the moment, and then the teams just above the relegation, they're just trying to get the points and stay away and keep that distance. So the league could look completely different in a week's time after these games have been played. So we'll see what happens then. So as I said before, please check our links out below. Follow our Down the Wing Twitter account as well. Why not send us your predictions? Either put them in the comments or send us on Twitter, and we'll respond. We're not as active on there, and I do apologise for that, but we are going to start putting some effort in there. It's just real life and work and just everything in general at the moment is really tough.
It's a busy time for football, busy time for us, so...
But I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you again next time.
Bye!